Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am going to be sharing 4 meals that we have eaten this week. All of these meals were weekday meals, so they're between kind of like 10 and 30 to 40 minute cook time for each meal, and they all went down really well with our family. So I hope you're going to enjoy them too. As always, I'll list all of the quantities and ingredients that I use to feed my family of 4. It's a really nice day here in the UK. The kids are outside in the trampolines. That's probably what you can hear in the background. But yeah, with all that said, I really hope you enjoy these recipes. Thank you as always for watching, and let's get cooking. Tonight's dinner is going to become a lemon chicken bake. So what I have got here is some boneless and skinless chicken thighs. I've got 1 veggie stock cube, I've got celery and garlic salt and some oil, and then I've got 400 grams here of orzo. So orzo is kind of like, for those of you who haven't heard of it before, it looks like rice, but it's actually pasta, and it is so good. I've also got 2 lemons and then some frozen spinach cubes as well that I've just thawed out. So what I'm going to start off doing with this, I'm going to get my chicken thighs, put some oil on top of them. I'm going to put some garlic and celery salt on top before popping them into the oven on 200 degrees centigrade for 15 minutes. Once that 15 minutes is up, I'm going to take the oven-proof dish back out of the oven, and then I'm going to pour my orzo on top of this. I'm going to add in my spinach, and then I'll also add in the juice of these 2 lemons, along with 600 mils of my veggie stock. Then what I'm going to do is get some kitchen foil and just wrap it over the oven-proof dish before putting this back into the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes. Just check on it after 10 minutes, taste the orzo, and if you think it's cooked through, then it's ready to take out. But if not, just leave it in there for another couple of minutes before taking it out. Because you've got the foil over the top, it's going to keep all of the steam inside this dish so it won't dry out. All that's left to do now is just mix everything through and dish up. This is such an easy meal to make. If you want, you can add extra lemon juice on the top when serving, but otherwise just dig in and enjoy. So for tonight's dinner, we are having a creamy spinach and salmon spaghetti. I was actually going to make this with gnocchi, but the boys decided they wanted to have it with spaghetti instead. So what I have got here is some soft cheese. I've got 2 salmon fillets. I've got 200 mils of veggie stock, some spaghetti, frozen spinach, 1 onion diced up, and then I've also got 5 cloves of garlic. Quite a lot of garlic, but it's delicious like that. So what I'm going to do with this meal is I'm going to first of all just bring up a pot of water to the boil and get my spaghetti in there, because that takes between 8 to 10 minutes. While my spaghetti is cooking through, I'll get a big pan and I'll pop some oil in it before frying off my onions and my crushed garlic for a few minutes just to saute. And then I'm going to add in my spinach leaves and just wilt those down because they're frozen. But if you're using fresh spinach, and you can just pop that in and wilt those through. Once my spinach has defrosted, I'll then add in my salmon fillets and just break those up, along with 200 grams of soft cheese and my 200 mils of veggie stock. I'm just going to let that all bubble away and reduce down a little bit, just until my pasta is finished cooking. And then all that's left to do is drain my pasta, add it to my spinach and salmon mix it all together, and just top it off with a little bit of grated parmesan or grated cheddar, whatever you fancy. This is a really quick and easy 10-minute meal, but it is packed full of flavor, and obviously you have your really nutritious spinach in there too. Tonight we are having a gnocchi tray bake. So I have got a whole thing of chorizo here, and I've just cut them like into little kind of coins and then in half. I've got some olive oil, I've got some rose harissa, my absolute favorite, 2 bags of gnocchi, I've got these really nice colorful tomatoes, and then I've also got some goat's cheese. So what I'm going to do here is going to be a tray bake. So first of all, I'm going to get my chorizo into my oven-proof dish and into my oven on 200 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. This is just going to cook through my chorizo a little bit, release some of the fats, but it's going to make it nice and crispy. Once that has been cooking for 10 minutes, I will then take my oven-proof dish out and I will add in my gnocchi, my tomatoes, and some of my rose harissa too. And then I'll just put a little bit of oil on there as well, just to give it enough to kind of coat everything. I'm going to pop this back into the oven, and this time I'm going to put it in there for between 15 to 18 minutes on 200 degrees centigrade. Just enough time to cook the chorizo through for a little bit longer. Make sure the gnocchi is cooked through nicely. And then once it comes out of the oven, then I'm then just going to get my goat's cheese and sprinkle it over the top. I'm not going to put this back into the oven once the goat's cheese is on. I'm just going to serve it straight up after that. Add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on top, and that is literally it. This is such a good meal, and it is super, super easy too. Right, so for tonight's dinner, I am going to be trying out a TikTok trend. So I'm basically going to be making wraps, like, what are they called? Quesadillas, but they are going to be made a little bit differently. And then I'm going to do it with some wedges and some cucumber on the side. So what I've got is cucumber, potatoes, I've got white wraps, and then I have got some guacamole, this delicious salsa. This is a chipotle salsa, and it is so, so good. I've then got some refried beans, but you can just use some mincemeat, whatever you fancy, or chicken. I've got some sweet corn, sour cream, and some cheese as well. So what I'm going to do first of all is just cut up my potatoes into wedge shapes, and then I'm going to get them into my air fryer for about 25 minutes with a little bit of salt and some oil on there too. While that's cooking, I'm going to get my George Foreman out, and I'm going to get 2 wraps. And then I'm going to just make slits at the top of each wrap, and then I'm going to kind of join it together, and then I will be portioning out some salsa, some sour cream, some refried beans, some of my sweet corn and guacamole, and then cheese all down the middle. I'll then fold the sides into the cheese before wrapping it up, and then popping it into my George Foreman until it's nicely crispy on the outside and the cheese is all melty on the inside. Once those have been in the George Foreman for a few minutes, it's then just ready to plate 1 or 2 of those each on everyone's plate, along with some cucumber and some deliciously made air fryer wedges. So those are the 4 recipes I wanted to share with you today. I really hope you like the look of them. Let me know which was your favorite and which you think you'll be trying. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.